All right, everybody, good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining me on this wonderful Wednesday evening here. I'm Savannah Louie with Atlanta News First here at the First Alert Desk, and I've got your top 5 stories for this evening, all hyper-local, focusing on the Atlanta metro, Atlanta area. So we're going to hop straight into it here with a story that is impacting plenty of Georgians, and one that we've been following for quite some time here. Dispensing licenses now approved in Metro Atlanta. So happening today, the Georgia Access to Medical Cannabis Commission just approved dispensing licenses for 2 companies. This all happened this afternoon. Now, right now, 27,000 patients here in Georgia have a THC oil card. Most of these people are scattered all throughout the metro Atlanta area. And state lawmakers did approve the use of that THC oil more than 8 years ago. But still, there has been nowhere people can legally go to buy it. That's going to change very soon. Now, these 2 companies already had those production licenses, but now if they pass an inspection, they will be able to legally sell the drug to anyone who has a medical marijuana card. One of those companies tells us that they do need to schedule state inspections before they make that first sale. And if their facility passes that inspection, it could be just days or weeks before you could purchase that low THC oil. Again, only if you have that medical marijuana card. Now, this company, TrueLeaf, says they're planning on their inspection tomorrow. They have stores in Marietta, Macon, and Pooler all ready to open up once they get that green light. The second company, Botanical Sciences, says that their company expects they'll be open and able to distribute at the end of spring or early summer. Both companies extremely excited about receiving their dispensing licenses. Now, the commission who granted that approval is reminding everybody that you will need that Georgia dispensary ID card when you enter one of those locations. But this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people. We've done several stories here at Atlanta News First over the years about patients who have gone through extremely painful diagnoses and who have actually, at some points, even illegally obtained THC just to get through some of their illnesses. So this is going to be a huge game changer for a lot of people here in our metro Atlanta area. We'll keep you updated, though, as some of those developments roll in on those inspections and possible more companies who gained that approval for dispensary license. All right, we're moving right ahead, though. This is going to be a crazy weekend here in Metro Atlanta. We have sports, we have music, some of the biggest names here. All right, Taylor Swift, Janet Jackson, Atlanta's own Ludacris, and now the Atlanta Hawks going to be taking over Atlanta starting tomorrow. More than 220,000 people are going to be here in downtown Atlanta over just a matter of days. And again, it all starts tonight with Janet Jackson and Atlanta's own Ludacris. Now, I do want to show you, we have video. If you're wondering, how is this all going to work out? There's so many people and potential for some safety concerns. Well, safety is paramount. It is one of the things that our city leaders are focusing on. I'm going to take you inside a pretty cool room here. You can see all these screens. This is a look inside the Emergency Operations Center inside the Georgia World Congress Center. It's working with security details at both State Farm Arena and Mercedes-Benz, which is where the concerts and the NBA playoff game will be held. You could see earlier there were dozens of large monitors all connected to hundreds of cameras positioned all throughout downtown Atlanta, also on the GWCC, State Farm Arena, and Mercedes-Benz campus. Now, crews are also bringing in extra portable bathrooms, thank goodness. If you're like me, that's always top of mind. Where's the bathroom? Along with some fencing. You can see some of that right there. That's going to be for your safety as well as the safety of others. And again, they are coordinating with Atlanta city officials and the state. Now, the big focus, other than safety here, is getting fans to and from the events. Police are bringing in extra security to keep people safe, also to manage traffic. They recommend give yourself extra time. If you're heading down here, you need to be here early. Give yourself plenty of time, up to 3 hours to get to your venue. They also say if you can, use public transit. Now is a great time to hop on MARTA. If you haven't tried it out, this is really the weekend to do it. MARTA will have extra trains in service, along with some extra staff to help people, specifically people who are visiting from out of town. But again, this is going to be a major weekend for downtown Atlanta. We have our Chelsea Bimfor, who is diving deeper into this story tonight for us. So she'll be joining us live at 9 and 10 on Peachtree TV, along with 11 o'clock on Atlanta News First, WANF. And she'll be bringing us any details about what she's seeing tonight, along with how it could be impacting some of the other businesses or entities in the area. And actually, I think I said Chelsea Bimfor. I think actually now it's Josh Skinner. I think he's a reporter on it. Either way, we're going to have someone taking you downtown Atlanta to explain what all they're seeing and all the excitement that's going on down there. Now, I want to jump ahead to a more serious story tonight. We're learning Atlanta's controversial public safety training center, the one that we've told you about now for over a year. Well, we're learning that it could open by December. Construction on that site could start in August. Now, this all comes as I'm going to show you some of the renderings here, some of the area that they're looking at here. It comes as officers have been patrolling the site 24/7. It's been the site of protests over the past couple months. Those protests really ramping up. And now, as more officers are at the area patrolling, one city council member says it's pulling officers away from other neighborhoods here in Atlanta, resulting in more crime in those neighborhoods. Councilmember Antonio Louie says his district in Southeast Atlanta, District 12, is suffering because in those officers' absence, when they go to patrol this site of the future training facility, crime goes up. For example, he points to a construction crew recently robbed at an affordable housing complex, along with delays in police response to shootings and a spike in car break-ins. Atlanta News First checked, and arrests are up in this zone. They're up from 826 to 898 compared to a year ago. Now, Police Chief Darren Shearbaum says the site of the future training center cannot afford to be left unguarded. We've, again, seen plenty of protests in this area against the development of the site. This is the site that critics are calling Cop City. Some of the dangerous actions we've seen include a torched tractor, along with throwing firecrackers at police. It's been a big concern. Atlanta Police tells Atlanta News First in a statement that they are actively pulling officers from every city district to safeguard this site. It's not just one district in particular. It's almost a team effort, I guess you could say here. Either way, a lot of concerns from residents and city leaders alike. Let's move along here to something that's happening in our children's schools. I'm always so passionate about these stories that really impact the kids here. And, you know, if you've been following along with the news for a while, you know that it feels like we are almost constantly reporting on stories involving young kids and gun violence and crime. It is one of the hardest things, I think, in my opinion, to do. Bad news with violence and kids. You never want to report on that. Well, now Atlanta Public Schools is taking a very bold step in stopping gang involvement for kids. And, you know, it sounds kind of weird to think of kids being involved in gangs, doesn't it? But officials and school authorities say that's exactly what we're seeing here in our area. The district says students as young as those in elementary school are being recruited by gangs. Now, the focus of a new gang task force, though, for Atlanta Public Schools would keep young students in the school system away from being recruited by gangs. It would also help those students already involved. Atlanta Public Schools Police Sergeant Raynard Price says gangs are finding members in children. He says, quote, 5th grade students are starting to jump kids in the bathroom to be part of a gang. Now, they are working to find out which gangs are in their schools and how to keep them out. The signs that they look for include poor grades, lack of interest in activities, and also using hand signs or gang clothing. Those are just a few of the concerning things that they might be seeing going on in the schools when it comes to those young kids. But this task force is really going to hone in on cutting out those gangs impacting our children. All right, final story for you tonight. And this is pretty exciting. I think, when people think of Atlanta, one of the great things that comes to mind is opportunity. People move here to Atlanta specifically for all the opportunities that our city brings. It's something that I'm certainly proud of. Maybe at home you're proud as well. Atlanta, though, we now have some proof that we're really where you need to be if you want to make something happen here. All right, according to a new study by Wallet Hub, Atlanta is the 7th best city to start a business. Wallet Hub compared startup opportunities in 100 U.S. cities, and it looked at several factors, including 5-year business survival rate, labor costs, and office space affordability. On your screen here, you see Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens with a couple of small business owners. Some of the people who are benefiting from Atlanta's hub for entrepreneurship. Now, if you're curious, Orlando ranked at the very top of the list, followed by Jacksonville and Miami for those entrepreneurs. Again, something I know I'm pretty proud of, being part of a city that encourages businesses and people to go out on their own and chase their dreams. It's something that's pretty special, isn't it? All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. It is 8:12. I feel like I kept you a little bit over tonight, but you know what? 2 extra minutes with me, I don't think anyone's complaining. Although I do know someone who might be a little hangry, always ready to get to that dinner break. Sending you out with a beautiful picture here of Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is going to be an absolute zoo this weekend. Let's bring in our meteorologist, Patrick Pete, who is patiently waiting for his chance at the mic and for his dinner break. Hey, Patrick.
What's going on? Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday, I think it is. Wednesday. That is horrible, long week. But, I hope that you all are having a fantastic afternoon. I'm going to get some things real quick set up for you. And we will take a dive into the forecast for the next couple of days, which is including a first alert for tomorrow. Rain and thunderstorms, some of which could be strong to severe, going to put a bit of a damper on the day. We're talking about damaging wind primarily being our concern here, but we are watching very closely as showers and storms are going to plague parts of your day. Those showers are going to linger into the start of Friday, but I think that it clears out by the time folks are starting to get out and about, so that's good news. The rain chance for Saturday is later in the day, so that means that if you have anything to get done outside, Saturday is going to be the day to do that before about 8 p.m. After 8 p.m., that rain starts lifting northward. Meanwhile, we're first alerting Sunday as well because the guidance has trended wetter. Now, if you were with us yesterday, we told you that we were still first alerting Sunday because Sunday looked a little iffy, but the guidance had dialed back on the moisture. Well, just within the course of the last 24 hours, those rain chances look more and more likely as this front's going to be pushing in our way. So that's why we're keeping that a first alert for Sunday before we start off next week with some dry time. Temperatures a little bit below average, but we will be warming as we head through the first couple of days, which is amazing news. Let's get you through this risk for storms tomorrow. Level 1 out of 5 for the area that you see highlighted here. This is what we call a marginal risk. But this is going to be one of the lower end risks here. But we're still going to be weather aware. So we're still going to maybe have that first alert weather app on your phone so that you can get alerted to if any of these thunderstorms tap into the energy where you are. Wind and downpours with some lightning. That's going to be our primary focus with any of these thunderstorms that get a little bit more robust through the afternoon. So here is that hour by hour breakdown. We'll start off with your Thursday morning, and you can see that a lot of those showers are going to be hovering across extreme North Georgia. So this is going to be touching some of the North Atlanta metro communities, but areas to the north of that really have that best chance of getting in on some of that rain. It does get a little bit closer to, we'll say, folks that are in Canton, Rome, as we get closer to around lunchtime, but really watching for the afternoon because that's where we'll really see some of the stronger thunderstorms start to fire up. So we'll be watching at 4 or 5 o'clock, lifting towards the north and east. You can see that a lot of heavy rain starting to push across the I-20 corridor, and we'll see that continue to lift on off towards the north and east as we head towards Thursday evening. Good evening, Angela. Checking in from Ackworth, Georgia. Yes, a good. We have a couple of cheerleaders over here in the house for Ackworth. I'm with it. What's going on, Max, Michael? Hopefully you guys are having a good evening. Let's check the YouTube stream just to see if any of you are with us and if I can read some of these messages. Ooh, detailed messages, but those look like they were related to the news story. So we'll stick with weather, right? Alrighty, so as we head into Thursday, we will see temperatures that are going to get a little bit warmer than they were today, but not by much. We're going to spend the bulk of the day in the 60s. I do think that as we head into the afternoon, we'll get that chance for a couple of hours to get into the low 70s, but expecting it to feel a little chilly for all day parts at least. Meanwhile, Friday, the showers are going to be tapering off early morning. Temperatures are going to be near 60 as you step outside, and then heading into the afternoon, we'll eventually start to get some breaks in the clouds. It's going to be damp with drizzle and stuff early in the morning, but for the afternoon, we'll get some sun rays breaking through those clouds, and that'll be enough to warm the numbers into the mid to upper 70s. Could see a stray pop up, but I think the bulk of us are going to be dry for the second half of your Friday before we see that rain chance return late Saturday. So as far as rain totals are concerned, this isn't like an overwhelming flood risk here. We're going to be watching for ½ inch to an inch widespread rain through Friday. And then, of course, that next round of rain moves in on Saturday. And that one looks to be packing a punch. We'll have a better idea on what those rain totals will look like as we head through the next 24 hours or so. But just be prepared for there to be some rumbles of thunder in there. And temperatures are going to tumble down on the backside of that front into the upper 60s by Monday, which is going to be a dry day. So for me, that's a win. We're back into the 70s Tuesday and Wednesday, looking pretty good with a good mix of sun and clouds. And that is your 7-day forecast. Oh, Fitz said Ackworth in the house. Yes, sir. It looks like we have, is that 2 people from Ackworth? How y'all doing over there? Yeah, my producer for 10 o'clock, he's really excited over here. And he's from Tennessee. Aren't you? Yeah, so what's so special? What has you cheering? Huh?
That's just where I live.
Oh, I didn't know that. I should know these things. Yeah. So that explains a lot. My boy, how far is that from? I should know this, but 25 minutes. Okay, nice. Alrighty, so yeah, Ackworth is in house, Fitz and Angela. Alrighty, guys. So I think we pretty much have broken down the forecast. You guys know that we're under a first alert for tomorrow for some rain and thunderstorms. They're just going to make it a bit of a damp, dreary day. And then another first alert on Sunday. In between that, lower end rain chances. The showers on Friday look mainly early morning. The rain Saturday looks to be moving in at night and lingering into Sunday before we get a nice dry stretch of weather heading into next week. So I'm going to leave you to the 7-day forecast so that you can make your plans and so that we can fine tune this forecast and give you guys an update tonight at 9, 10, and 11. So happy Wednesday. It's Wind Down Wednesday. The recommendation for today, since it's a bit dreary out there, is going to be a red Zinfandel. Do not get a white Zinfandel. It has to be a red Zinfandel because we need something a little spicy to, spice up our life. So I will catch y'all tonight at 10. Happy Wednesday.